Check this out. A huge Trump supporter got confronted and put in his place after being racist toward an American citizen, claiming that they don't live here, that they don't speak English, that they're not actually from the United States. You know, the same kind of racist lies we've heard from the far right on this issue for so many years. And in this guy's case, he gets so scared that he gets in his van and drives away. I will warn you, this clip has a lot of swear words in it. It's quite explicit, but I do think it's worth a watch. Let's take a look and see what happened here.
You fucking racist piece of shit.
You're racist, dog.
I'm racist? You're telling me to go back to China, motherfucker? I'm an American citizen. Fuck you.
You're not American.
Fuck you.
You're not American.
Who are you?
Fuck you, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here.
You're not American.
Get the fuck out of here, you racist piece of shit. No, this motherfucker told me to go back to China. Fuck you, piece of shit.
Building up.
Gotta get knocked the fuck out. What?
Sorry, I have to drive off, man. Security's over here. We're wasting your time, man. Come on.
Fuck you, you racist piece of shit.
Now, for me, what we said to me. Just hurry up, man. Come on. We're wasting one second.
What a piece of fucking shit.
I'm sorry, sir.
Isn't that insane? Like, there's so many comments I want to make about this clip and this individual in question who's obviously being a terrible human. First and foremost, I want to point out how he's driving a van that says Trump 2024. Like, he spray painted this on his vehicle and drives it around proudly. That in and of itself, major red flag. Incredibly strange for anybody to do it. By the way, that would be strange for somebody to do on the left, the middle, the right. If you're spray painting a politician's name on your van in that manner and then going around being terrible to people and driving that van proud, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird in my view. But I just love how this person, this man who was being viciously attacked by this Trump supporter, just stood there and stared him down until he drove away. It's just a common phenomenon with a lot of MAGA that behind the screen, they'll say vicious, awful, terrible things online. But when it comes to in-person interaction, once they try it, they cower away. They get in their van and they drive away just like this guy did after being stared down by this brave American. Yes, American citizen who that Trump supporter tried to claim was actually not from the United States based on some racist garbage that he and other in his party have been peddling. So I just think it was so great how the man in question who was being attacked just stood up to him, put him in his place, and made him so scared that he got in his MAGA mobile and drove away pretty quickly. I mean, that guy was out of there once he realized that this situation was not going to go too well for him. But I want to stress that we see instances like this all the time in the United States now, fueled by Trump supporters, people who say awful things and then proclaim their support for Donald Trump, people who have Trump merchandise or Trump names painted on their van. We see it all the time. And a lot of Trump supporters and Republicans will say, well, you know what? This is not part of the Republican Party. This is not who we are. This is just fringe, crazy people who do not represent us. And I would say, why don't you look at your own elected representatives and then try to make that argument? Why don't you come back to me? Because I want to show you a story that happened a little bit ago, but is very relevant to what we're talking about right now, this kind of racist attack that is tolerable in the Republican Party. Do you remember when a Doge staffer got fired, or I should say resigned, after he was exposed for posting racist things on social media? Yeah, let's just go over the story really quickly and break it down and tie it in. Vice President J.D. Vance said on Friday that Elon Musk's Doge should rehire a staff member who resigned after he was linked to social media posts that espouse racism, with Donald Trump later endorsing his vice president's view. Now, let's break down what this guy said on social media. Marco Ilez resigned Thursday after the Wall Street Journal linked the 25-year-old, a grown man, to a deleted social media account on X or Twitter that posted last year, quote, "I was racist before it was cool." And, quote, "You could not pay me to marry outside of my ethnicity." Really just disgusting thing among other posts. The account in September included a post that said, "Normalize Indian hate." What? That is disgusting. That is obviously gross. And while JD Vance said, I obviously disagree with some of his posts, I don't think stupid social media activity should ruin a kid's life. It's not ruining his life. It's making sure that he doesn't work in the federal government where people of all backgrounds, all ethnicities, all identities are being impacted, are represented. And impacted by the decisions of elected representatives and people like this guy. And then Donald Trump, of course, said, I'm with the vice president. Take what this individual said, this 25-year-old, and compare it to what that Trump supporter just said in that video. It's no different. It's no different. And that kind of rhetoric is supported and endorsed in Donald Trump's Republican Party, in today's Republican Party. And like, this is not the only time with JD Vance and this Doge staffer. It's not an isolated incident. The video of this man in the Trump mobile, the Maga mobile, I should say, is not an isolated incident because this happens all the time in the Republican Party. Before the election, a Trump staffer was fired from the Republican Party for being a white supremacist. No joke. This article was published on Election Day. And I believe that this individual was only fired because it was prior to the election. The optics look terrible. But as we see that after the election, obviously JD Vance endorses racist social media posts. A Donald Trump staffer who worked as a regional field director for the Western Pennsylvania Republican Party was fired on Friday after it was revealed that he was a white supremacist. Politico reported that it identified Luke Meyer, 24, a Pennsylvania-based field staffer who worked for 5 months for the former president. And of course, this was when Donald Trump was the former president. Meyer reportedly co-hosts the Alexandria podcast with Richard Spencer, the organizer of the 2017 White Nationalists Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. That guy was working for Donald Trump's Republican Party and Trump's campaign as well, and only got fired on Election Day. Worked the entire campaign cycle, only got fired on Election Day. So when I read stories like this, JD Vance endorsing a Doge staffer who said I was racist before it was cool. Or when I see videos like this of people with Donald Trump's name painted on their van, going around proudly, driving the van with the name on it, endorsing Donald Trump in a big way, attacking people for what they look like, their identity, their background, and Republicans try to tell me it's an isolated incident. No, this is not just an isolated incident. These are views and rhetoric that people like JD Vance and Donald Trump are perfectly okay with. Matter of fact, we see it with the 24-year-old. Says similar things to the man in the van. And JD Vance and Trump say, oh, let's bring him back to Doge. Let's rehire him to the federal government where, again, people of all backgrounds are being represented. That's today's Republican Party. And I want to stress, I find it difficult to believe when Republicans tell me that this stuff is just isolated incidents and it doesn't represent their elected leaders like Trump and JD Vance. So anyway, I just wanted to show you this clip. I think it's so fantastic how this man in the video got put in his place so amazingly. He had no response. He had to get in his van and drive away. Really love that. He didn't get away with this. He didn't get to just say it and then nobody did anything. So I will leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe down below. It goes an incredibly long way, really helps the channel. Of course, drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about this story. And as always, I greatly appreciate you, and we will speak soon.